Hello. So I was having a conversation with a client just then, and it inspired me to come on to talk to you guys because I reckon it's something that a lot of you can relate to. So she said to me, I still feel I need to go a long way. And the thing is, she realizes that it's going to take a lot of effort. So she's already one step ahead of the main crowd, which is excellent. And she's willing to put in the hard work. And she sends me like all her food photos, and she knows that she needs to put in the work to get there. And she's willing to put in that much plus more. But there's many of you out there that don't see it in the same light, but it conjured an image of the stairs that they have in the memes and the ladders where they have like you only see the first step, you can't see the rest until you start climbing, and you only see like the short term, you can't see the long term, so you don't really know how great the reward's going to be at the end until you actually start climbing it. But then the way that I see this analogy is something much greater than like what most people say it to be, because sometimes I like making analogies more than they are. And the way I said it was, yeah, that's always the way. We start off at the first step of the ladder, and we still have the whole ladder to go. And as we gain steps along the way, we get closer to our goals, and the more deposits we put into it, like it's like needing to reach a certain amount of cash in the bank to reach a target. The more we make deposits, the closer we get to our target. Kind of the same with the steps. The more deposits we make in terms of steps, the closer we get to the end point. But what is the end point? In this game, I don't actually see there to be an end point. I don't see there to be unless you have a comp, which in a way, competitions aren't actually end goals for me because I'm someone that's a high achiever. I need to be constantly setting goals. I need to be constantly challenging myself. I need to make sure that I'm constantly better than I was the previous day, the previous week, the previous comp, the previous everything. It's always me against me. That mirror over there, that's the person I'm up against. It's always me wanting to improve upon me. And because I see myself every day, I don't see it. But these things like performance markers on a certain day, how you perform at a comp on a certain day. Because when you're, like, for example, when you're preparing for powerlifting, you're not testing your 1RMs every single day. That's not freaking sustainable. You're not training 90% plus every single day or every single week. That's not sustainable. But you progress in a way, in, like, the short-term scheme of things, you're continually building upon that ladder to get to a certain milestone, testing yourself again, then sitting upon your journey again to get to the next milestone. And and when you look back down on the ladder itself, you see how much momentum you've gained, how much distance you've already traveled. But it is not until you reflect and you look back down from where you're at that you realize. Because if you're so absorbed in that step that you're on and how far you still have to go, you're not really thinking about what's behind you. You're not looking back. And there's always a saying, don't look back, but always look back to see how far you've come. Always look back to, like, not just physically, like mentally, emotionally. Like, I made a post the other day about how far my clients have come. Not just physically, but mentally, the faith they've had in themselves. Like, they've realized that they've been used and abused in relationships. Like, they never put themselves first. Like, a lot of them even realized that they needed to break, like, not be in that relationship anymore, and they deserved something better, and now they're at somewhere better. Like, the stuff that you just realize when you're actually on a journey of self-empowerment, bettering yourself and really realizing your worth, you don't want to settle for less, and you actually find way more opportunities open up when you are in that place of vibrance, of, like, positivity, empowerment. Like, yeah, just the word empowerment, magic. Truly magic. Like, when you're in that place, the world just opens up to you. Like, that quote, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Like, you could be looking at the same thing. It could be just like, Just think of the most mundane thing that you could look at. It's like, change the way you look at it. You'll find many more uses for it, and it could take you way more places. Like maybe a key, you're like, oh, it's just a fucking key. Throw it. But then if you change the way you look at things and try and fit it into more keyholes, you open so many more doors. I can't really think of an example, but there's one for you there. And, like, that's why it's a milestone. Because in that short phase of the journey, getting from point A to point B, and then from point B to point C, you're at a certain level of life, seeing things in that certain perspective. Then as soon as you hit the milestone, all the challenges that you faced in this portion, you now can frolic upon, dance upon, laugh upon, and it's just easy for you for those challenges between point B and point C. But hey, you're still facing challenges. It's just that they're new ones because you've leveled up. You're facing new challenges, new experiences, probably in a much better place when you do have the chance to reflect back. And that's exactly what I said to my client. I was like, and as you set new goals to new destinations, that ladder expands. Like, it's no longer set to this peak. It's now set to this destination over here. So now you need to finish off the last few steps of this destination, celebrate it, look upon it, reflect, and then, hey, you still have ages to go. Oh, I feel like I have ages to go. Yeah, that's because you do. You just set a new destination. But when you stand midway between these two, you can't even see the ground anymore because you've come that far. So I really liked that analogy, and I thought that it was worth a video. So I hope that, like, struck a chord with you guys. And I really want to keep this short. But the thing that I loved about this analogy that I gave this client is that she came back to me saying, yes, 2018, 2019, I will be a different person. I will love myself more. And I will take care of myself before anyone else. And that is exactly what I'm preaching, what I'm all about. Being selfish and not being guilty for it. Because if you don't fill your cup first, you can't be there for anyone else. And if you aren't, like, all my posts lately have been about being resilient. Because people can, like, throw balls into the works. They can throw hurtful things at you. They can tear you down with sheer, like, either jealousy, false words, like, anything really. They just the fact that you're doing better off than them because you're being that cocky person, but you're not really cocky. You're just trying to be better. And a lot of the time, people aren't brave enough to do that themselves. So instead, they find ways to bring you down. Or, like, there could be someone that doesn't know you from a bar of soap, and then they start saying shit about you, but so-and-so's in a vulnerable state, or, I don't know, like, they could just take those words, spread them more, and all of a sudden you have a whole ball of negativity that could easily bring you down. So if you don't build resilience to fight against that stuff, you could be in a very bad place. And it's not until you're in that place of resilience, in that place of knowing your self-worth so much and what you offer, and, like, if you are so true to your values and you really do have a passion for what you do so deeply that nothing can shake and stir you, then you can build that resilience. And what those people say isn't going to bring you down. It's just going to make you fight harder, make your passion burn stronger, and you're going to have strength to cut those people out of your life. Don't let them impede on how you live your life. Like when people say, I don't want to post this on Facebook. I'm not sure if I should post this. If you're questioning yourself, and if you're afraid to be your true self because of other people out there and having them dull your shine, then they don't deserve energy leaks. Like, they don't deserve you to leak your energy, to leak your amazingness. Be full of awesome sauce. Awesome sauce, because that's what it all is. And it's not even awesome sauce, it's magic. It's magic. It's truly magic. And that's literally going to be my slogan. Magic. Because I always say faith, trust, ruby dust. And I've always had this fantasy idea of magic. I mean, I grew up obsessed with Harry Potter. So I used to write all the spells out and used to try and get those wands and just, yeah. There's just something empowering about feeling magic in the way that you feel magic. Like, for me, magic is breaking through your self-perceived beliefs. It's doing something you never thought you could, because it truly feels like magic. It's like, wow, I just did that. Like, not even the word miracle, it's just magic. So I hope this, wow, I just said this like 4 minutes ago and I'm saying the same thing again, but I wanted to keep it short. So here's 11 minutes for you. Mwah.